What's up, everybody, and welcome to the proper brand new video. I'm an idiot. This is the internet. Today's video is going to be an update on where I've been and what I've done or been doing in the past 2.5 months or so. Because apparently that was the last time I uploaded a video. So, a whiles back, I was thinking to myself that I would kind of wait for a PlayStation 5 to play the majority of my PS4 games. I've got PS4 consoles, but I didn't necessarily want to open any of them to play. They were kind of merely collection pieces, ones to display, kind of show off a little bit. Yeah, so I kind of thought to myself that I want to get another PS4, so I could play VR games. Because at the time, I didn't think the PS5 played or the supported VR games, the PSVR. I'd since been told that it actually does. If you write off to Sony and say that you've got a VR unit or something, and you give them your serial numbers, they will then send you a component unit that you stick into your PS5, and it allows you to use your PSVR unit, not VR2, but your PSVR unit with PS4 games on your PS5. But at that point, I'd kind of already committed in my head to wanting a new PS4. So the one in question that I wanted was the Death Stranding PS4 Pro. I liked the design on it, and I liked the yellow transparent controller. So that was going to be like my last PS4, and it was going to be the PS4 that I would actually play and start playing the collections with. So I looked online, and they're about £400 to get a decent, like, inbox condition, good condition one. And that was a bit too much money. So I went onto the CEX website, and they sell a boxed console for £240. And I had about £200 of vouchers. So I traded in some other games and stuff that I'd got that I wanted to get rid of. And I bought a console online. Waited for it to come, and it wasn't in very good condition at all. The box was dented and torn. It was sellotaped back up together, and yeah, it wasn't in a good enough condition for me to accept for £240. So I then thought to myself, well, the way CEX works is that you can't, if I took that console back and then bought another one, they're just going to send me that console again because it's the closest one to me. I think that's how CEX works. So I needed to buy another one before sending the first one back. So then I bought another one and waited for that one to come, because I knew that you have about 2 weeks to send it back with online orders. So I waited for the second one to arrive. And then when that one arrived, the box was in better condition, but the console and the controller was a bit more battered. The controller on the back, where the screws are, where you take out the screws, there seemed to have been some kind of, for lack of a better word, like yellow gunk inside where the screws were, and I couldn't get it out. I couldn't clean it out. I couldn't get it out with earbuds or anything, or cotton buds. Yeah, so I was like, no, I can't. Again, I can't. For £240, the serial number was scratched off as well, and I was just like, for £240, again, my OCD won't allow it. So I had two consoles then, and I needed to send them both back, and I'd kind of run out of funds. I didn't have another £240 to spend on another console, so then I would potentially, if that one was broken as well or not in good enough condition, that I would then have like over £600 worth of money coming back to me. I was just like, no, I can't do it. So I took those consoles back, and I was like, so what am I going to do now then? Because I kind of have to put the whole console idea on the back burner. So I thought I would go through my wanted list of PS3 games and start taking some games off the list. Some of the slightly more pricier titles, the like £40-50 titles, and again, kind of playing the CEX lottery or whatnot, because I had vouchers as well as money, my own money coming back to me. I started going through the process of buying those games, and unfortunately, I'm not very good with surprises, so I wasn't gonna do unboxing videos on here, because I do get pretty disappointed when you buy a game and it comes to you with chocolate inside the case, right? There is dried chocolate inside the seam of the case, and you're like, how did this get past the person who put the disc in at store? Like, seriously, there is dried chocolate in the case, and they sent it out to me like that. A £40 game. So there was a few games that I was able to keep, and then there was a few games that I took back. There was a GameCube game that I bought. It was £65, and when I unwrapped that one, that had like the inner sleeve was crinkled, and I was like, okay, what's caused that? And I was like, oh. I pulled out the sleeve, and there was a yellow brown mark on the back of the sleeve. The sleeve had got water damage from what I can only imagine is Coca-Cola, and then taken off and sold, and then CEX was selling it for £65. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. So I've kept some games, I've taken some games back, and then I'm in store getting the vouchers back, and I'm like, right, so what do? I've tried to buy a console, that's fallen through. I've tried to play the CEX roulette thing, and that's fallen through. So I'm just going to buy games in store that I can check myself. That there's a number of Switch games that I've wanted, first party Switch games that have always kind of been on the list, and they've been on the list for a while. But I mean, anybody knows, like Nintendo and that, the first party games tend to keep their prices, or at least like reselling, the price tends to still be high. So with that, I was able to, I said to myself, I'll just buy some games that I needed that were slightly more pricey, and I'll just take those off the list instead. So today I'm going to show you the games that I bought then, and I'm going to show you the other games that I got as a result of some of those vouchers and that money back. I won't show the PS3 titles at the moment. What I'll do is I'll just go through the GameCube games today. So it will be Nintendo Switch and GameCube. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I recently got a GameCube. So I thought with the GameCube game list being much shorter than other consoles, I thought I would take a stab at completing that list, or if not, trying to get close to it. So we start off with the Switch games that I got in store, that I'd been kind of just wanting but never getting around to actually getting. So the first game is The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. I like the look of the art style that they chose to use in this game. I remember having I think it's the DX version on Game Boy Color. So I was very interested to play this, and am interested in playing that. I haven't played it yet. The next title is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I wanted some kind of more multiplayer-esque games for the Switch that I could play with people. I wanted like this and Mario Kart, and I do want to get a Mario Party game at some point, but I haven't got one of those yet. But yeah, this was on the list to get. And then there's 3 more. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. These are games that I haven't had been on the list since the very beginning. And like I said, just getting around to taking them off the list because they're like still £40 odd. And then the final one is the most expensive one, which I should have really got sooner, but just never did. And that is the Super Mario Brothers 3D All Stars collection. I think this was like £65. But I personally have never played and really wanted to play Super Mario Galaxy. So now I have the ability to do that on my Switch, and I've also got the other 2 games as well. I've never really been interested in Super Mario Sunshine. I never played it when it was on the GameCube, and I mean, everyone's played Super Mario 64, haven't they? So yeah, those were the Nintendo Switch games that I got from CEX whilst I was there. Now, these ones are from CEX and eBay and Vinted. So there's a whole collection of games that I've got here. So slightly larger collection, but I wanted the Capcom 5 list of games, and I know one of those wasn't actually made. One of them was cancelled, so there's only 4, and I think Resident Evil 4 is one of them. Beautiful Joe, I believe, is another one. Killer 7 is one of them. So we've got Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble, which I think is a beat 'em up. I think it's just like all the characters from the Beautiful Joe series as a beat 'em up. So we've got that one. Killer 7. I managed to get this off of eBay for a good price, or complete inside. All of these are complete. I don't buy non-complete games because again, I OCD can't. A Sonic Mega Collection, which has Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So I was a big Sonic fan back in the day. I know some people are like Team Sonic or Team Mario. I'm Team both. I don't really care. I had both consoles. I was lucky growing up. So yeah, I like Sonic. I like the older Sonic games. The newer Sonic games, ooh, hit and miss, I think. Like, for every 1 game that comes out good, there's usually 2 that are poo. Sonic DX, I remember getting this on the Dreamcast when it initially came out, and I really liked it. I like the end bit, because I like what happens in it. But yeah, I really like this. Another game that I had back in the day that I wanted to get is Lost Kingdoms. This is kind of like an action-adventure kind of RPG-ish type game. But the thing about this game is that, if I remember correctly, it's like a card based kind of like card captors game. You throw a card down and the monster on the card comes to life, I think, from memory. Collect over 100 guardian creatures, summoning them to fight in real-time battles against hordes of enemies. So yeah, so I managed to get that one because I had that a long time ago. I've never actually played this one, but in my weird obsession of making trilogies out of games that aren't trilogies, we've got Sonic Heroes, which I think is a brand new title for the generation of consoles that came out then. I've not played it, so I have no idea if it's good or if it's bad. Like I said, I wanted the Capcom 5, so that would have been this title, Viewtiful Joe. I played it years and years ago. I never completed it. I do want the PS2 version of this, because you get to play as Dante from Devil May Cry. I'm not sure if you get to play as Trish, but I do know that they feature in the PS2 version. But I don't collect for PS2, so, or do I? So why would I want it? But yeah, I got this one, and I got the yellow box version for it as well, because, and then to finish off the trilogy, I was able to get Viewtiful Joe 2 as well. These are all shiny because in the meantime of me doing a video and doing this video, I bought box protectors, so a large majority of these now are in box protectors as well. Getting close to the end of this now. Managed to get The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker Limited Edition with the Ocarina Master's Quest on this, and the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, which has Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link from the original NES. So, I know that somebody commented on one of my last videos on the N64 collection that I was lacking in Zelda titles. Since I got the GameCube, I was like, well, if I get those two titles, then I'll essentially have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, as well as Wind Waker. So I was going to do that. The very first game that I bought when I decided to flesh out the titles was Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Now, within the Metal Gear Solid fan community, a lot of people don't like this version of the game, of the first game. I think some of the gameplay mechanics kind of ruin it slightly, like the first person view kind of ruin it, and the kind of extra action in the cutscenes are a bit OTT and a bit weird. But Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear Solid, is my favourite Metal Gear Solid out of all of them. If they do remake it, I will be happy to buy it for a third time. The next one is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I never actually played this back in the day, but I really wanted to give it a go at least. I'm not very actually good at RPGs, but you know, play it and get good, I suppose. Or if it's not very good, then just, you know, I've got it in the collection. And then the last two titles, I managed to get Lost Kingdoms 2. This was the game that was £65 from CEX, and it had Coke all in the sleeve of the case, and I was absolutely distraught and broken for £65. Luckily, I found that from a seller on Vinted, and it is complete inside. And the last game I got for the GameCube to narrow down the list of games that I wanted for it is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So that completes the subsection of or sub-collection of Zelda games on the GameCube. There's, I think, maybe 5 more titles that I maybe want for the GameCube that I've had in the past or not. But yeah, it's the smallest amount of games that I want for any console. So I thought I'd kind of just bite the bullet on that and go through it. So I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop the video now. I have since been doing something else as well. I've started a new collection. I always said I wouldn't, because there are just so many games, and I can't start another collection, but I have, and it's all because of, well, it's not because of one person's fault, but we'll talk about that in the next video. So yeah, there is another video coming of a new collection that I've started, but right now that is my GameCube update, Switch update, and channel update of what I've been doing and where I've been. Yep. Please let me know if you've played any of these games. I'd be interested in any recommendations for the GameCube. And yeah, you'll see me all very, very soon in another video. So yeah, bye.